Well, Indiana's business giants are not only answering the call to help nonprofits, they're also on the front lines of testing for COVID-19.
Simply trying to step up and fill an unmet medical need. We'll continue to do that in as many different ways as we can. This is a national crisis. This is a crisis for the state of Indiana and a crisis for the city of Indianapolis. I think every citizen, every company needs to do everything they can to help fight COVID-19.
That is Eli Lilly and Company Chief Scientific Officer Dan Skovronsky speaking about the unified approach Hoosier businesses and the community are taking to fight the spread of coronavirus. Lilly and Roche Diagnostics among dozens of Hoosier companies stepping up in a big way to do their part to flatten the curve. Roche was one of the first in the world to send coronavirus test kits to laboratories all over the U.S. This week, Lilly started its drive-through drug testing for healthcare workers, and after the first day, expanded that to first responders. Inside Indiana Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta joins us now via Skype from Greenwood to tell us how Lilly is keeping up with demand, the company's efforts to find an antibody therapy, and supplies they say are needed. Kylie.
Well, thank you, Gary. As we reported last week, Lilly launched a partnership with the Indiana State Department of Health to repurpose a Lilly research facility for COVID-19 testing. They also indicated that they were working on drive-through testing for healthcare workers, and this week they got that program off the ground. Not only that, first responders in Indianapolis are now able to receive the test. Lilly says this new group eligible for testing includes public safety, fire, and ambulance personnel. Testing will be determined and directed by the occupational health provider for each individual agency. Lilly Chief Scientific Officer Daniel Skovronsky says so far the company is keeping up with demand.
We have been able to meet the demand so far. We have call-in numbers set up, and we schedule appointments generally in the same day that people call in, and when they get here, it flows pretty quickly, probably around 20 minutes from start to finish. The capacity that we have can still expand if needed, and so far we're not turning people back. Of course, our goal is to help patients, and the best way we can do that is by helping the people that take care of patients and the people that keep us all safe as first responders. But our other goal, which is, I think, even just critically important, our other goal that is critically important, is to stop the spread of COVID-19 in the community. There is still community spread. We need people to stay at home, to isolate themselves from one another, and we need to identify the people who have COVID-19 so they can take extra precautions so as not to spread it to their family or to any contacts that they might have outside their household. So that's our goal. I think that's how we can have the biggest impact on the city. We're working hard to do that.
Skovronsky also says Lilly is making progress with Canadian-based biotech company AbCellera in trying to find an antibody therapy to treat the coronavirus. If it's successful, the company says will work with global regulators to bring a treatment to patients.
That project is a very important project to us to try and create from really a patient who recovered from COVID-19 to isolate their antibodies that they naturally make to fight off the virus, and then turn those antibodies into a drug that can be administered to thousands and thousands of other people who need it. That project is progressing quickly. We have teams at AbCellera, at Eli Lilly, at all of our sites, and also at the NIH, literally working night and day to advance that project, and continues to move at a very, very accelerated pace. Our target is to be able to test these mass-produced antibodies in patients within the next 4 months.
Skovronsky also says there is a need for other supplies like testing equipment and something as simple as swabs. He also addressed how the crisis has challenged companies like Lilly to meet demand for testing now and in the future.
There are other things that are just in critical supply in the country, and we hope to be able to obtain additional supplies so we can continue to test patients. These are simple things like safety equipment for the people doing the testing, masks, as well as even the swabs, the nasopharyngeal swabs that are used to sample the patient. These are in short supply nationally. Unfortunately, the coronavirus caught this country unprepared. Despite adequate warning, we were unprepared with the supplies we needed. So you're seeing companies now step into the breach and try and scramble back into a more appropriate posture to fight this virus.
And Gary, the drive-through currently is not available to the public, but Skovronsky says that is something that could be coming down the road. Back to you.
All right, Kylie, thanks. Great report. Coming to us from Greenwood via Skype.